Hey, what's going on, guys? Goose here, man. Coming back at your video, and this is going to be about some LSU recruiting. Of course, early signing day was yesterday in college football. A few years ago, they changed it up, or they moved it to December. Early signing day it used to be in February, where all these teams, all these schools had big hoopla, but now they moved it up. And majority of the signees that these schools get, I mean, when I say majority, I mean like over and over, like 95% of the players, that you can get recruit, or they should say they send their letter of intent on this early signing day. So LSU came in as they ended up with the fourth rated class. This, of course, this is to 24/7 their recruiting service. So LSU was number 4 in the country, behind Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. So there were 3 in the SEC, 4 nationally. LSU recruited well again, as they had some needs that they needed to fill. I thought, and I think they did. They think they did that. Of course, your young players, they'll be freshmen next year. Some of them might get playing time. Some of them might. I thought they needed defensive backfield help, especially in the safety position, and they got the top 2 safeties in the country. We'll go over that, and also I thought the linebackers the linebacking core has been down this year. I thought that they went out and got the best JUCO linebacker in the country, number 1 rated JUCO linebacker in the country. So LSU went out and got some needs. Now I think they missed out on some things, but like I said, next February is the next signing date, where that's where that's when originally was the normal signing date. But next February is when the rest of the players that have not sent their letter of intent, we'll send them. Hopefully, LSU can get some offensive linemen, because that's another need that they need to get. All right, let's go over this. As they signed 2 5-star players. Maason Smith, the number 1 player in the state. He's a defensive tackle. Also, Sage Ryan, the number 2 player in the state, and he is a safety. 2 needs. You got the 2 best players in the state to come to your school. LSU does a really good job at that. They usually get the top 5. More times than not, at least the top 5 players come to LSU in the state of Louisiana. So they did that. So there's your 2 5-star players. The next one is Derrick Davis. He was the number 3 rated safety in the country. Sage Ryan was number 2, and he's from Pennsylvania. This is another big get for LSU, another big safety for LSU to get. I thought getting Derrick Davis from Pennsylvania. Right there, you got Penn State up there, and LSU was able to snatch him and get him to come to Baton Rouge. That's another good pickup for Ed Orgeron and the Tigers. Next, we got a wide receiver out of Louisiana, Chris Hinton. Hinton. Chris Hinton's a 4-star wide receiver. Of course, LSU. Jamar Chase is gone. Terrace Marshall is gone. So they're gonna need to revamp that wide receiving core. Those are 2 NFL talent players that are not going to be here next year. I know they have a lot of young talent on the team right now with Dre Jenkins and Coy Moore, but they're just going to have to revamp that system. All right. Next on the list, we got Garrett Nutspyer, quarterback out of Texas. 4-star quarterback out of Texas. This guy, if you see his tape, he's really, really good. Garrett Nutspyer, I'm sure he'll redshirt next year, but 2022, 2023, look out for this guy, Garrett Nutspyer. He might be the quarterback in 2022, 2023. I guess depending upon what goes on with Max Johnson, TJ Finley. Miles Brennan will probably be gone in 2022, 2023. So at least 2022. But we'll see on that. All right, next on the list we have Garrett Gellinger. He's an offensive tackle, the only offensive lineman LSU signed in this class. He's from the state of Michigan. He's a 4-star player. LSU definitely needs to get those 4 5-star talent into this program, and they have to develop them. LSU. If you go back and look at the classes, probably 2018, 2019, they just these players that they come in, they're not developing, whether it's coaching, whether that's work ethic by the player. Something's wrong there. But they have a lot of offensive linemen on the roster. Just some players just haven't really come to and got on the field. That's got to change. All right, next on the list we have we got a running back. Running back this out of Alabama. This was an Auburn commit. He had decommitted from Auburn after Gus Malzahn was fired. Armoni Goodwin, Alabama. He's a 4-star running back. The sixth player in the state of Alabama, fifth in the nation at his position. So this is a very, very good running back coming to LSU. We look at what we got on the roster right now: Chris Curry, John Emery, Ty Davis Price. Those guys, they're gonna be. Everybody gets a free year, so they'll be sophomores again next year. But the shelf life of a running back is very, very short. So running backs usually stay 2-3 years in college and then move on. So this was a good pick for LSU to get Armoni Goodwin, and he also got another one as we'll go further. Next on the list we have the weak side defensive end, Landon Jackson. He's a 4-star out of Texas, 7th in his position at the weak side defensive end. This is another very, very good player. He got hurt last year in high school, broke his leg. Hopefully he can come back from that. But this guy's pretty good. If you watch his tape, I look at recruiting a lot. This guy's pretty good. Good pickup for LSU on that defensive end, weak side defensive end. All right, next another 4-star, Mr. Ohio, Corey Kiner, out of Ohio, running back. He's a 7th rated. He was the 7th rated player in the state of Ohio, and also the 7th rated running back in the country. Another good player. LSU got 2 good running backs in this class, and Corey Kiner, and then Armoni Goodwin. With more running backs you have in college, the better. You don't have one guy getting all the carries in college. You got to have 2 or 3 spreading the bulk of the carries. Good pickup for LSU. All right, next on the list we have a cornerback. I think this guy was at Tennessee one time. Tavarius McGee out of the state of Florida. He's another 4-star cornerback. LSU. Derrick Stanley. Derrick Stanley's probably going to be his last year this coming year in 2021 next year. So they're gonna have to find somebody to replace him. It's gonna be a tough guy to replace. Derrick Stanley's going to be a top pick in the draft. So going out and getting a 4-star cornerback from the state of Florida. Florida always produces great football talent. California, Texas. So good pickup for LSU. All right, inside linebacker Craig Penn out of the state of Maryland. Inside linebacker LSU. They needed linebacker help a lot. Damone Clark just hasn't kind of cut it. I think they're playing them out of position, honestly, because 2019 Damone Clark actually played pretty well. I just think they have him playing out of position, but they do need linebacker help. They do need linebacker help because some of these guys are going to graduate. Jabril Cox is a senior. Who knows if he's going to come back next year? He was a grad transfer from North Dakota State. So, but I don't know about that. So I know there's some talk about maybe Jabril Cox coming back. If he comes back, I'll just make the linebacking core much better next year. Next on the list, another outline. This is another linebacker, outside linebacker, Xavier Carter from the state of Georgia, 4-star player. Another good pickup for LSU. Linebacker core is what they needed, or one of the things they needed in this recruiting class. All right, next on the list, we get this next guy here from Louisiana, Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, number 8 player in the state of Louisiana, comes to LSU. Wide receiver, like I said, LSU they loaded at receiver, but the more you have, the better. With all these teams going spread offense, 4 or 5 wideouts at a time. You're gonna have to have 4 or 5 wide receivers, at least out there, because just the way the offenses are now. And another 4th are Jack Besh out of Louisiana, number 11, the 11th player of the state, another wide receiver. This guy's pretty good. Not many people really know about this guy, but Jack Besh, good player from the state of Louisiana. And the next we got 4 more guys to go over. This next one's a 3-star, Matthew Langlois. He's a safety out of Louisiana. Another good pickup for LSU. This guy, I think he's very, very underrated. Langlois is very underrated. I think he should be a 4-star, but hey, I don't make the recruiting rankings. But he is a 3-star, and he is coming to LSU. Like I said, LSU needed safety help a lot, and they went and got, like I said, went out and got Sage Ryan and Derek Davis earlier. They got them also in this recruiting cycle. So Matthew Langlois, good player for LSU. Then next player, we got this the number one rated inside linebacker in the JUCO. This guy was in the JUCO. He was a Mississippi State recruit. LSU was able to get him the flip on signing day. I hope I'm saying his name right. Is Navante Strong from the state of Mississippi, the 8th rated player in the state of Mississippi, and the number 1 rated JUCO linebacker. LSU got him. This guy probably will play next year since he's been in the JUCO route. I expect this guy to play next year. Then we got Jalen Sneed from tight end from Mississippi, a 3-star. He'll probably redshirt next year. Especially if the LSU can get Eric Gilbert back next year. A lot of talk about him coming back next year. I mean, I heard that there's a good chance of him coming back next year. But Jalen Sneed, he's a 3-star from tight end from Mississippi, but he's probably a project. And next on the list we have the punter, Peyton Todd, 3-star punter from Louisiana. Punters, kickers, they're not going to get anything above a 3-star. So it is what it is on that. So this guy was the number 1 punter in the state. I'm sorry, in the country. This was the number 1 rated punter in the country. So LSU went out and got a good punter. As Derek Von Rosenberg is probably going to be gone. I mean, maybe this year, maybe next year. Depends upon what he does. I mean, he's like 30. He's like 30. This guy Von Rosenberg, LSU, Derek Von Rosenberg, LSU, he's like 30 years old, and he's still. Yeah. So I don't know if he'll stay one more year, but this was a good pick. This was a good get for LSU and Peyton Todd, punter. So all in all, LSU got 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 1 on the offensive line, which I think needs to get better. The offensive line recruiting needs to get better for LSU. 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. Of course, they had 1 special team, which is the punter. So all in all, the number 4 rated class in the country. If you look at 247, number 3 in the SEC, behind Alabama and Georgia. And nationally, they're behind Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. So LSU recruits number 4 in the country. They always recruit well. Just gonna no, you gotta get better. You gotta get better next year. Gotta get better next year. We need better play. We gotta stay healthy. Quarterback play has to get better. I know the freshman Max Johnson, T.J. Finley, and it's Miles Brennan. Is he gonna come back? So gotta get better. Coaches have to get better too. Remains to be seen if Bo Pelini will be here next year. I think he's not going to be here next year. I think Bo Pelini's going to be gone. I heard rumblings that Ensminger is going to retire at the end of the year, so we'll see what happens on that note. So LSU might be looking to get 2 new coordinators if that pans out. I think they will be trying. I think they will be getting a new defensive coordinator. I think Bo Pelini is gone. When you have a defense as bad as LSU had this year, you can't bring it back. You can't. I mean, there was no. They didn't improve all year long. There was no improvement at all. I mean, if they had slow improvements all year long, and they were starting to get better and work their way out of the cellar, which they are defensively, I can see maybe giving them another year, but you can't. I was wrong. I thought Bo Pelini would be a good hire. I didn't think it'd be this bad. Anyway, guys, there it is, guys. So there's your signing class for 2021 for LSU, and have a good one. I'll talk to you later.